What,
He's
you're
got a
talking about me?
Spidey squad. It is just Spidey Bugle just threading away at a person shit. It's like, yeah, guys, I did it. I did it.
Gonna get this image done.
Oh,
Alright.
God, that was great.
Let's do
start.
this.
Come on.
Welcome back, true believers and spectacular Spidey fans, to a really awesome Spidey Squad related video. But today we have a huge treat for all you because today is the very first episode of the Parker Luck podcast. This is a huge, awesome Spidey Squad podcast where we're going to be getting together maybe weekly. We're going to still try and work on it the best we can, but maybe expect weekly episodes from us where we're going to be doing a lot of awesome discussions about tons of things in the comic book world. But today, specifically, we are talking about three awesome topics, which you can see from the title. But the first topic we are talking about is, of course, in the thumbnail, which we are all freaking out about. And this is really, really breaking news because it just happened like a few hours ago, is that it is a leaked image of an official Funko Pop for Spider-Man PS4. Of course, you see Spider-Man in his white spider suit on like one of those stands for the Funko Pops, and it just looks incredibly cool. I'm obviously going to buy one. And it was leaked by Superhero Poll, and they just put a Twitter picture on it on their Twitter page. So go please follow them and support them any way you can. They're awesome, and I'm hyped. And of course, joining me in this awesome podcast, and I'm lucky enough to be involved with, is the rest of the awesome Spidey Squad members. We got not everybody, but we do have a lot of members here today. We first have the one and only Austin, the Spidey fan, for the win.
Hey, guys.
We also have nice. We also have Spidey Skater Boy, also known as Josh.
Oi.
We have the one and only Legit MHX with us as well.
What's up, guys?
And of course, we have the one and only Spidey Bugle, who you can thank for making that beautiful thumbnail.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We also have Andrew, the Spidey Outcast, working on the Spidey Squad series, joining us today as well.
What up?
And last but not least, we have the one and only Vigilante, flat out incredible.
What's up, guys?
And I'm just excited for all the topics we're going to talk about. Three specific topics. We're going to get into them individually later on. But first, let's just talk about this awesome Pop Funko. Let's start with you, Austin. What do you think? I'm hyped.
I'm surprised, actually. I was not expecting that today. Yeah, that's going to be like the first ever Funko Pop that I've ever gotten. So that's new. But yeah, I'm excited. It's awesome we got like something new.
I know, I'm blown away that we have that too. I have a Vulture Funko Pop, and that is my first ever pop of Vulture Spider-Man coming, but now I'm definitely going to be getting one of these for sure. And Josh, what do you think about this? I know you're super excited.
Well, just pretty much exactly like Austin, I definitely was not expecting this. I mean, after, like, things that have come out recently, I was, saying, I was, thinking the game's coming out soon, the marketing should be starting soon, but I wasn't expecting this to come out. But I'm just going to say I've never had a Funko Pop. My sister has a couple, and they're pretty cool, neat little things. But just like Austin, this will be the first ever Funko Pop I will ever get. And who knows, maybe it might lead me to collect more, but all I can say is I'm really freaking excited.
Yep.
And that's really interesting that you brought that up too, Josh, because that could also be taken people in general, like what you said, like it's your like one of the first times getting a Funko Pop. That could also be for other people as well, like for kids especially who really are into Spider-Man. That could be awesome, seeing that this could possibly be their very first ever Funko Pop of them getting a Spider-Man PS4 White Spider Funko Pop, which I find really cool. And Legit, what do you think about this? I know that this is really awesome with Funko Pops for Marvel, but specifically for Spider-Man PS4 with the recent collector's edition reveal for God of War, and now we have this for Spider-Man, just as a merchandise thing for the game, is just really exciting.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it really does indicate towards sort of Insomniac marketing the game, because it's not official Insomniac merch, but again, Funko Pop making something like this, it can maybe hint towards Spider-Man coming out sooner or later. But it is a leak, but it's cool to see that they've already made it. So they're actually going to be making proper merch for the game, which is pretty cool. And again, this is also same as Josh, my first time. Well, I've never gotten a Funko Pop, and this will be my first time that I actually do get a Funko Pop. And again, I don't know if there's much that we can conclude from it in terms of development status for the game or anything like that, but it's just a cool thing, and I'm excited to see what other merch that Spider-Man PS4 will have, and I'll definitely be picking up one of them.
Yeah, definitely, because with what you said with development status, yeah, it doesn't mean, oh, Spider-Man PS4 comes out tomorrow, Funko Pop confirmed. No, it doesn't mean anything like that. We're just very, really, really hyped that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they just revealed the leaked image of a Funko Pop for Spider-Man PS4, and what else does that mean for the line down the line for merchandise for the game? Like what just said to Chu, the game's art director was kind of teasing on Twitter a couple days ago. The things that she wants the most for a merchandise aspect for Spider-Man PS4 is wearable web shooters and Spider-Man plushies. And of course, this is not a plushie, but it is pretty close. So what are your thoughts on this, Spidey Bugle? I know that we're really excited, and I know you are too.
Yeah, I mean, this. First of all, if I do get this pop vinyl, will be my second one. I do have the homemade pop vinyl, which is pretty cool. But seeing this pop vinyl come out of nowhere, could we be getting Spider-Man merch very soon? Who knows? All we know for sure is that we could be getting something very soon, as John Bubniak posted on Twitter.
Yeah, definitely. It would be really surprising if that was what he was teasing about, as the Funko Pop this whole time. That'd be amazing. But hopefully we do get more merchandise revealed down the line, because there was also a leaked list that also Superhero Poll, I believe, found, and it showed a list of different Spider-Man PS4 related Funko Pops that we have not seen yet. The first one is this standard one with Spider-Man with the White Spider costume. A couple of other ones were saying Mr. Negative, and also I find that really awesome. And Andrew is also very excited as well. What do you think about this, Andrew?
Well, I didn't really expect this to be happening. I mean, I don't really have too much thought into it, but I guess the only thing I can think of is looks pretty cool, and I think I'll get it. That's all I have to say.
Definitely, because when the game comes out, for example, and then they show different merchandise items that you can get, like the T-shirts of the game, and maybe hoodies if they decide to sell those Spider-Man PS4 hoodies that Brian Intar gave me at PSX. That'd be incredibly cool. And if they started to showcase more of the different merchandise items that people can buy, a Funko Pop along with the collector's edition of the game and a T-shirt, obviously, all that cool stuff would be awesome. So what are your thoughts on this, Vigilante Spider? I know you're super excited, of course.
Well, I'm a little upset too, because now my wallet's going to be gone. Like, damn. Like, seriously. Like, it's $19 for one Funko Pop. So trying to get all of them, plus the game, like the collector's editions and merchandise, like T-shirts, jackets, I'm going to be broke by this game. So thank you, Insomniac. I appreciate this. No, but seriously, I really dig this Funko Pop. I like how he's on like a stand doing this awesome kind of pose, like doing the flip pose. That's always nice. But I can't wait to see like Mr. Negative's Funko Pop, if it would be like a glow in the dark Funko Pop, because they have a couple of those. But this won't be my first Funko Pop. I have like 20 Funko Pops, so this won't be my first one, but this will definitely be my first like tie-in video game one, you could say. But yeah, I'm super excited. Looks great.
Oh, it looks great too, and that's how I am as well. Like, I only have the Homecoming, but this would be my very first video game merchandise thing as well, besides collector's editions that I've bought in the past. But definitely for a Funko Pop for a video game, that'd be incredibly cool. And yeah, what you said, glow in the dark, that'd be awesome for Mr. Negative. A glow in the dark negative Mr. Negative, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And with Mary Jane with the plushie, I found that interesting. Is the description is that it says Mary Jane with plushie, because some of the Funko Pops like are holding things. So whatever Mary Jane might be holding. Yeah, like a little teddy bear or a mini Spider-Man, maybe. That'd be cool. And obviously, we're all super excited about this. Does this mean footage soon? We probably don't think so. We hope so, but we don't know for sure. But I definitely think if they are leaking this, and as of this recording, Insomniac have not said anything about this, but hopefully maybe tomorrow or a couple days after, they might mention, oh yeah, we're making Funko Pops for Spider-Man PS4. And that'd be really cool. So that was our first topic, guys. Thanks for all the awesome comments and input. So the second topic that we're going to discuss in depth is God of War. On the PS4, God of War recently had a really awesome trailer showing more of the story, and at the end, surprise, surprise, it showed the release date. Now, officially, we were thinking all the rumors that were stating, even on PlayStation Network, they leaked that the God of War release date was supposed to be March 22nd, since every single God of War game has released in March. But then Sony Santa Monica threw a curveball, and only like a couple days ago, they showcased a trailer for God of War, and at the very end of it, they showed the release date, which is April 20th, 2018, which is releasing on a Friday as well, for any of you who find that interesting. I do. And I just find it really crazy that Sony is starting to really showcase more of these games, to have trailers and show release dates finally. And now that kind of also sadly throws a huge curveball within the system of what Sean Layden said, the president of Sony, saying that, oh, all these games for the PS4 exclusives are going to release the first half of 2018. And what we have so far, Shadow of the Colossus comes out February 6th of 2018, and then God of War comes out April 20th of 2018. And another PS4 game that's not really an exclusive, but it is like a big game, is Monster Hunter World, that comes out January 26th. But as for Days Gone and Spider-Man, we don't know when they're coming out, but it is said that Detroit Become Human is supposed to come out in spring of 2018, but is still unknown for Spider-Man and Days Gone. But I think after seeing God of War is going to come out in April, I do think, for me personally, in my video that I put on my channel recently, I said I think that the game will most likely come out in October, but everyone in the chat has different opinions and thoughts on this. So let's start off with Austin. What do you think about this God of War release date?
I'm pumped. I'm not the biggest God of War fan. I didn't play the other games, which I know, shame on me, but I am excited. It's definitely a new take on the character, and I'm excited to see what they do with him. I'm not so big on the kid yet. I'm going to have to see more of him, but yeah, this whole release, being April 20th, I'm pumped. It's going to give me something to play before Spider-Man comes out.
Yeah, same here. Like, I was on the fence before, too. Like, I've never played God of War, but even back in E3 2016, seeing this new take on God of War with the close-up camera and just Kratos being a dad, I'm like, wow, this looks really cool. And what you said about the kid, Atreus, I thought in the new trailer, he looked really well acted, and I think that they're taking a really interesting take with his character. Yeah, I hope he's not irritating. Cory Barlog, the creative director of God of War, was saying that they're trying their best to really encapsulate the father side of Kratos and like this other side we've never seen of him before. Of like, in the other God of War games, he's always like angry and killing people. So with this game, like, yeah, he's really showing a new side of him. And I know Josh is very interested in this as well. So what do you think about this, Josh?
First of all, I'd like to say, yes, shame on you, Austin. Shame on you, very much so. And also, I like to say I am very, very, very excited for this game because, one, this is one of the first ever gaming franchises I picked up as a kid. Yeah, I know I shouldn't be playing God of War as a kid, but I did. Oh well. This new take back when it first got, announced back in 2016, I was like, what is this? And then when he came walking out of the shadows, I got so freaking hyped. It was like, oh my god, he's coming back finally. And then we're getting all these new tidbits and everything like that. I'm like, this is interesting. And, with Atreus, I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be annoying. Then, I saw this new trailer in particular, actually. And that's when it really, dawned on me, like, wow, this could actually be good. I'm really starting to get the sense of, Kratos' father role. And, the acting, for Atreus is really solid. I mean, the voice, his voice itself, it's, kind of odd. Like, the way how his character looks, I can't match it up quite right. But I'll get used to it. But I am just hyped for this. And as for, it throwing a whole monkey wrench into everything else in terms of the release date, one, the release date got leaked twice on the PlayStation Store. Both times saying March 22nd. They pushed it back almost exactly a month as kind of like a flick to the nuts to the fans. Like, oh yeah, now we screwed up twice, showing our original release date. Yeah, we're going to push it back an entire month. You know what? All these other games that are going to come out, we're just going to screw that up for you guys. Yeah. They're probably going to delay Detroit. Probably. I think they're going to delay Detroit and they're going to push that to like later, like midsummer, like July, August, maybe even September. Spider-Man, I definitely think it's coming out. I definitely think that that Spider-Man's coming out like June, July. I think it's coming around there. The latest, I think it could come out, because that's his birthday month. why not? But besides the whole throwing a monkey wrench into like the stuff that Sean Layden has said, I am completely fine with this. Like, this game literally comes out a week before my birthday, because my birthday is April 27th. A week to the day, it comes out a week before my birthday, so I'll be fine. Like, I can just pre-order this and like for the whole week, just play God of War. I'll be fine.
Same here, because my birthday is on April 10th, and I see that this game is April 20th. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. It comes out on the same month that Josh and I have birthdays, on April, which is awesome. And what you said about right, and what you said about Detroit Become Human, recently Quantic Dream on the Twitter said, like, to confirm for sure it is 100% coming out in spring. It may get delayed. I don't think it will, though, but there is a possibility it can. But yeah, definitely for what Josh was saying with throwing a monkey wrench and things, yeah, because Sean Layden's saying all the games coming out in the first half. We know for a fact God of War is coming out April 20th, even though, yeah, they leaked it twice that it was coming out March 22nd, but then I don't know if they were originally trying to plan it for April, and then those were just fake leaks, or it was actually supposed to come out on the 22nd. But I do think that this will be a nice like game that you can play if you're really hyped for Spider-Man, but you want to play something in the meantime. This will definitely be your game, because it's a really new, cool take on Kratos. It's really cool showing the father-son aspect of the game, and I think that the way that they're handling the story so far is really cool. I know Legit is very excited about the release date for God of War and the game itself. So what do you think, Legit?
Yeah, you guys said it perfectly about the game and all the stuff about the game and why to be hyped for the game. And I probably am going to pick the game up, and it's going to be a really fun sort of way to sort of wait for Spider-Man PS4 to come, because I've been a fan of God of War, and I'm pretty excited for what they've done with God of War on PS4. But I'm going to be talking more about the impact the release date had on Spider-Man PS4. Previously, I thought that, for such massive PlayStation exclusive games, they'd want to announce a release date at a event, but got a random trailer just dropped on a random day. So again, we could get the same thing for Spider-Man. But what leads me to believe that we won't actually get a random trailer is that, to look at God of War, we got the release date sort of 3 months before the actual. I think maybe we can sort of apply that sort of same time frame to every other exclusive. Maybe not exactly 3 months, but around that time. So if we were to say 3 months, they'd probably not want to announce the release date of a game in the month that God was coming out. So say since April God was coming out, say May they announced, then we'd probably get it, August at the earliest. But I think they might want to just wait till June for E3 to announce such a massive thing. So I'm not too sure about that. I don't know if maybe any other exclusive might Spider-Man, or if Spider-Man's the next one up after God of War. But I think maybe August, maybe July, but I think maybe August is the earliest we'll see after the announcement of God of War.
Absolutely.
I agree with what you're saying, like, and I understand your reasoning behind that, but me, like, and I know Evan brought this up earlier before we started, recording, that someone brought up the idea about, how these exclusives have been releasing, like, so far. Like, you have what is it, Shadow of Colossus, it releases like February, and then you have God of War releasing in April, like how there's this 2-month gap thing, and how Spider-Man could actually be releasing, or let's say not even Spider-Man, but let's say freaking what is it, Detroit, that could be releasing in June. Now there's this whole 2-month thing. So I personally think that, it could be that, and they could have Spider-Man lined up next, and then, have him come out in June. And also another thing, these exclusives like not Spider-Man, God of War and Horizon, and even Detroit to a sense, like, they've all showed up twice at E3, but nothing more. And I don't think that they're gonna break that cycle with Spider-Man and have him up here at E3 for a third time.
Yeah, fair enough, but I think, yeah, maybe we could still see it in June, but what sort of leads me to not seeing it that early is that Insomniac did say that we've got a lot more content to go. We're gonna be getting a lot more stuff before the game does actually ship. So I'm thinking if they might still go to E3. I know attending 3 E3s might not be the best thing, but I think that they initially did want to release the game 2017. push it back to
Yeah,
make
I
sure they
saw
could
that.
finalize the game. And, they wouldn't want to push back every single exclusive, so they just lined it up afterwards, like God of War or something like that. So, I don't know. We still have content to go June, but I think no more than October. I don't think it'll come out after October.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys because the way that Sony's handling their marketing right now, and I know Austin, the Spidey fan, has a lot of opinions on the marketing, but yeah, they're really kind of playing like really close to the wire because of how, for some reason, out of nowhere, Sony Santa Monica drops a trailer with a release date that shows more story of God of War. That's awesome, but it's just really random, and it's probably going to get a lot of views for the hard God of War fans. But definitely, if they were to appear at E3, that would definitely get a lot more attention from fans and gamers and casual fans of the series of Spider-Man, or just, of course, for Spider-Man PS4, super hardcore fans like us overall. And I think if they really want to try and play their cards right, they would show, hopefully, because I kind of tweeted this out a little bit, Super Bowl is like in a week or so on February 4th. And usually, of course, the commercials is what everyone watches the Super Bowl for. So hopefully, like the King ad back in 2016, where they showed these live-action clips of different Sony PS4 exclusives like God of War, Horizon, and Spider-Man, hopefully they do something like that again at the Super Bowl. It might not happen, but that's just a theory. As for seeing Spider-Man before E3, I think like what John Bubniak, the character model for Peter Parker, was saying, like, there's stuff coming soon, and Brandon Tarr, of course, what he said, like, there's more content coming. So I definitely think there is stuff on the way. But enough with us. What do you think, Spidey Bugle? What's your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, well, first off, I would just like to quickly state that I have never played God of War, so I have no idea,
I'm not the only one.
what to expect. But given the information, the footage we did get, this is definitely one of the more promising PS4 exclusives. And that April 20th release date dropping out of nowhere along with the collector's edition, we just don't know what we could get for Spider-Man. Could they announce something randomly, or could they announce something at an event? But yeah, I just don't like to speculate too much because that might lead to us, thinking of unrealistic theories. And I just will stick to official material and say that we're just gonna have to wait until we get an official announcement from Insomniac. But as for God of War, looks great so far. Atreus and the rest of the characters look awesome. Graphics look great. Typical PS4 AAA quality. Top notch. And yeah, can't wait to see more gameplay from it.
I'm totally on board with you right there, Bugle. And yeah, everything that Sony Santa Monica is doing with this God of War in particular just blows my mind. Seeing footage from the previous God of War games being like this really person action adventure hack and games, and then this like this really up close and personal, over the shoulder kind of Last of Us vibe God of War game is really cool. And yeah, shout out to fellow podcasts and friends of ours, which Spidey Bugle was a part of, Geek Burger Podcast. They did a podcast recently where they speculated that Spider-Man PS4 could release on April 27th, but that was when we still thought God of War could come out on March 22nd because it would be enough time to kind of spread them both out. But since God of War is coming out on April 20th, I think that definitely just debunks that possibility of it coming out on April 27th. But you never know. But still, definitely go check out Geek Burger Podcast and check out Spidey Bugle's podcast that he did with them. It's a great chat conversation. You'll love it. But what do you think, Andrew? Andrew, you are very excited about Spider-Man PS4, of course. What about God of War? How do you think about that?
God of War looks very interesting. Now, I've never played the God of War games because I don't own a PlayStation, because I don't own a PS4 yet, because I have enough money, but I need to find one. But yeah, this game looks great. I'm definitely gonna pick it up when I get myself a PS4. I love the trailer. Graphics look great. Characters look great. Definitely interested. Yeah, that's all my thoughts, actually.
Cool. And I'm definitely excited for everything in the game, too. I think I'm most excited for is definitely seeing how this relationship between Kratos and Atreus is going to work out. And, like, in the trailer that we saw, like, Atreus is, like, sick at one point, or he's kind of weak because he's being exposed to his godly heritage from Kratos, which I find really cool. And maybe if they want to really showcase that in a more in-depth way in the story with that giant snake monster thing and the mythological characters that are going to be featured in the story. I think that blending the previous games with like Greek mythology and then this new game with Norse mythology, I think is really, really cool. And you even hear the woman character at one point like say like, you are a god, maybe not of this realm, but that's not mistaken, because like, oh wow, they're connecting these different mythologies together, which I find really, really interesting, and that's definitely going to keep me intrigued when playing the game. What do you think, Jordan? Vigilante Spider, what do you think about all this?
Shame on me as well. I've played a God of War game. Well, it's kind of weird, but I've watched all the games, so like I kind of know what's going on, but I haven't actually physically played it. So shame on me, but whatever, I don't care. The trailer was absolutely amazing. It's a game that I really can't wait for to get my hands on, because I can just pick this game up and I know the story forward, like what's going on. So when they just dropped, April 20th or whatever the release date, I was shocked because I was laughing like months ago saying, Insomniac wouldn't like drop a trailer just randomly out of nowhere without an event and drop the release date. But, God of War just did it. So there's no denying that maybe Spider-Man could just, like, maybe in a month or 2 months from now, they just drop a random trailer saying, hey, here's the release date. Bam. So, I don't know. I think it'll be really interesting. But I do think, like, the game could possibly come out, like, June or July. So like, that's where I'm roughly guessing where the game could possibly come out. But, hell, I just wanted something to make the best game possible, So, I don't care whenever this release date is. So, yeah.
Real quick before we move on to the next topic, I'd just like to add something that I forgot to mention. With Game Informer making multiple videos about God of War, I do think Spider-Man PS4 will get the same treatment. So I'm excited to see what comes of that. So I would definitely expect if we get Game Informer videos about Spider-Man PS4 to just wait and see if we get a trailer for Spider-Man.
Yeah, because
we'll probably get
was it? It was like not too long after the Game Informer videos.
Yeah, and
like the end of the trailer. Was it like a week or something? Was that like a week or something?
It was like quickly after it, wasn't it?
Yeah, like a week. Yeah, about a week.
Something like that.
Yeah, so like when we see any type of Game Informer, like get ready.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Get hyped.
So yeah, well, that's awesome.
And yeah, just a brief recap for if you guys don't know what we're talking about. Channel recently have been posting lots of awesome videos recently, interviewing Cory Barlog, the creative director of God of War, and Shannon Studstill, who is the head at Sony Santa Monica Studios. And they've been doing multiple videos talking about the game's combat, the game's story, how it feels that they're, recently almost done finishing developing the game. And then that video was like the last interview that they did in Game Informer, and then literally a day after, boom, here's a trailer for God of War with a release date. So definitely, if Game Informer, like Austin and everyone else was saying, if we do start seeing Game Informer videos about Spider-Man PS4, we can definitely expect a release date following that with a trailer or something soon. And that also could mean what John Bubniak was talking about on Twitter. We'll just wait and see, though, but we can't really speculate anything at this point. But I do think since God of War just got a trailer and it was out of nowhere, I do think, like everyone else was saying, I do think we might get something out of the blue soon for Spider-Man. And that is all for that second topic. And our last topic of this podcast, the very first Parker Luck podcast, hope you guys like that name because I think we find it really very catchy, is the Venom movie. So, of course, some of us are excited about the Venom movie, some of us are not excited at all. But recently, there's been a lot, recently there's been a lot of really interesting videos on Twitter showing Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock doing really cool things, in my opinion. I know some people may thought looks really dumb, but so what I've seen, I know you guys have seen other videos, and for you listening, you've probably seen maybe more videos, maybe less videos, but I've seen personally 3 videos, so I'll just describe them here, and then we'll go around talking about them. So the first video I saw was a little stunt clip of someone, a stunt man riding a motorbike, jumping over a ramp, and then 2 cars chasing after, which is I guess is supposed to be Eddie Brock riding a motorbike. It wasn't Tom Hardy, it was a stunt double, but I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be Eddie Brock. And they're like chasing after this guy on a motorbike. They crash through a fence, and I just thought that was really cool. The second one was Tom Hardy just simply walking through a street. He was just walking through a street wearing his hoodie, and they were like filming from inside of a restaurant or something, and then they just saw Tom Hardy walking to this other part of New York. And then the third video I saw, which I find is the most interesting, is there's these camera people, and then they're backing up, recording Tom Hardy as he's walking through this alleyway, and then it shows Tom Hardy spazzing out like crazy, yelling in the alleyway, and then just running forward, like having this crazy like temper tantrum spaz attack in the alleyway, which I find really weird. But then it's like, oh wait, he's battling the symbiote inside of him, which I find is insanely cool if that is what they're doing. And of course, like seeing it being recorded like with no special effects added or anything, it looks kind of silly. But obviously when they edit it and add in the footage of whatever it is that they're trying to record or get footage of, I think when they actually combine it together with what they're trying to do, I think it might look cool. That's my 2 cents. What do you guys think about this? Let's start with you, Austin. I know you have a lot of opinions about the Venom movie, but out of all those 3 scenes that we saw, which one did you find like the most interesting, and which one did you find like the most kind of cringeworthy?
Well, definitely the most cringeworthy one would be him like spazzing out in the alleyway. I was like, wow, all right. Bane 2.0. Like I'm intrigued. I'll just say that I'm intrigued. I'm definitely gonna go see the movie, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like right now, of course, it's very much in standard production still. Like they're not close to wrapping it up at all. It's set to release in October of 2018. I think if anything, getting delayed, like in terms of games or movies, I think this
January.
Yeah, just comes out on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. And yeah, like I can definitely see that. Like the spaz attack thing is really strange. I just hope what they're trying to do is cool. But what are your thoughts, Josh? I know you have a lot of thoughts about the Venom movie.
Oh shit! First of all, I just want to say I didn't see any of those 3 scenes. I've seen set videos, but I haven't seen those 3. I don't know where you found those. You got to send me those after this. But from your description, the one that sounds very close to something I've seen before is the whole spasm thing, because I've seen that a couple times. You know, like from different scenes and stuff like that. So just talking about those scenes in particular, like that stuff out of the movie, it kind of makes sense considering he's battling the symbiote, so that part makes sense. But how it just looks, it looks funny, and that makes sense because the director said this is meant to be sort of like an action horror comedy kind of thing, and hell, he did Zombieland, so it makes sense. He's done comedy, so yeah, that's going to be kind of the slapstick humor kind of portion of it, which I don't know if I'll like, but I'm interested in it. The movie in itself, I'm interested in the movie in itself. I just want to see how it is. I'm mainly interested in to see how Venom looks, because I hope that he looks like a freaking monster, looks all beastie and everything. But what I'm most, like wanting to see, and all the the rumors coming out, and I just want to be the one to bring it up, is the whole, Tom Holland apparently, being on the set. And, the whole rumors about how this could be a secret MCU film and stuff like that. Me personally, I'm just like, Tom Holland needs to be in it, because you can't have Venom without Spider-Man. If you don't have Spider-Man, then it's just some alien taking over some guy and turning into some giant rage monster trying to destroy things and kill people and all that. No, even if the movie's good, no one's going to care because it doesn't have Spider-Man. So I hope, not only for John Schnepp's, reputation, all that, I just hope in general, Tom Holland is in this movie and that he is portraying. It doesn't even have to be Spider-Man. It could be Peter Parker. Either or. I just hope he's in it. Yeah, in short, I am interested in this movie.
Yeah, very cool. And yeah, just like what Josh was saying is that John Schnepp was the one who reported on this, saying that, this could be an MCU movie since Tom Holland is on set. But Comic Book Cast, another awesome YouTube channel out there, Armin was discussing like, Peter Parker is in the Venom movie, but not Spider-Man. So that would be interesting. Regardless, I think it would be very smart for Sony to make this in the MCU. If it's not, and it does turn out to be good, then that's just kind of a wasted opportunity. Because what if this turns out to be the best Venom movie ever? Tom Hardy does a great job. The special Venom looks great. And it's not connected to the MCU, so it's like, what does that mean? If it's like really good, but then not connected, where do they go from there? Which is really weird, like conundrum that they're really like have themselves into, and I just find it really strange. And I know legit you have a lot of thoughts on this as well. So what do you think?
In terms of the Venom movie itself, I'm in a pretty skeptical situation. Not situation, but I'm not like jumping on the it's gonna be the best movie ever. I don't think many of you are. But in the movie, it does have a lot of potential to be an amazing, amazing movie. But again, it does have a lot of potential to also suck. Again, it is Sony making the movie, so we never know what could happen. Go either way. But yeah, I am excited from the clips that we have seen. It seems interesting. You know, again, some of them don't look. Pretty sure once you actually see it in the movie, it's gonna look pretty great. In terms of Tom Holland, I think what Comic Book Cast did say. I think Tom Holland is gonna be in the movie as Peter Parker, but since they said he's not been filming much, I think they've only seen him like not that many times, and he wasn't ever in his Spider-Man costume. So Spider-Man, but I think he will at the very least be Peter Parker within the film. And in terms of it being connected to the MCU, I think I forgot who said it, but I watched a video. I don't think they're directly saying it's in the MCU as in it's an MCU film, but it's sort of coexisting with the events of the MCU. So it's not like they're not going to address what happened in Iron Man 1 or Captain America Winter Soldier. It's in the same universe.
Right?
Yeah, I think that's how they're going to do it. Maybe in the future, if they do it like in the next Spider-Man film, maybe they might reference the Venom movie. I'm not sure about that, but I think it's going to coexist alongside the MCU, not directly within it.
All right.
Yeah, and just like Legit was saying in a really great way, yeah, like this could possibly be a actually interesting way that Marvel could connect the symbiote in the MCU, because Infinity War comes out in May, this movie's supposed to come out in October. I can easily see them throwing in some sort of symbiote Easter egg in Infinity War, and then it like crash lands on Earth or whatever, and then that leads Eddie to find it in Venom or something like that. And I think it could work out in a really cool way if like Marvel and Sony play their cards right and try and line them up to connect with each other. I think that'd be cool. And yeah, like it would also be really, really interesting, like Legit was saying, that Tom Holland was on set for this movie. If it's confirmed, we still don't know if this means that the movie is in the MCU. We still don't know, but I would find interesting seeing how Tom Holland in Spider-Man Homecoming, or just in the MCU verse, he's like 15, 16 years old, and Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock, much older than Tom Holland. So I think that it would be interesting seeing like a teenage Peter Parker go up against a adult Eddie Brock as Venom. I would find that really, really cool if they do play their cards right and they make that happen. What do you think, Spidey Beaver? What's your thoughts on all this?
Well, firstly, I'm gonna have to side with Legit and say that I'm not that excited about this Venom film. It's interesting, but it's nothing that gets me hyped like Spider-Man PS4, for example. But I'm kind of bummed out that they haven't exactly established, some sort of relationship with Eddie and Peter, before Eddie becomes Venom. So yeah, I don't know how they're gonna make it personal, but seeing Venom in the Venom film is gonna be interesting, and I'm interested, as Josh said, to see how Venom will look in this movie. He's supposed to be this giant, monster that makes Peter's life a living hell. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how they incorporate Venom in this film. And due to Tom Holland rumors, yeah, I think it's just a small Peter Parker cameo at this point, but I'm not quite sure. But yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna have to see more of the Venom film to really be a little excited.
Yeah, like as of right now, like obviously with those 3 set videos and the other video descriptions that we've gotten, rumors of the story being, well, actually it is confirmed that the story is based off of Lethal Protector. The director said it himself, pretty much. So I'm finding it really interesting how they're going with this movie's direction. I like, if you guys see on my Twitter page, I did say I was hyped for this movie because of mainly Tom Hardy. Again, the movie could be garbage, but Tom Hardy's performance could be amazing. I just really hope that Sony has learned from Spider-Man 3, and clearly I think they have, since already the marketing logo of the movie is "We are Venom," we, not I. So that's really already a great start in my book. Again, like what we've seen so far, no special effects or anything, or a trailer has been released at the time of this recording, so we can't judge it based off just simple set videos. But I do hope that when we do get a trailer, it is something that is actually worth looking at and trying to watch instead of just something like, oh, this doesn't look that good. What do you think, Andrew? Are you excited for Venom and Tom Hardy playing Eddie Brock? I know I am.
That's a very hard question because I wasn't really too big on the Venom movie. Like, I'd say I'm cautiously optimistic because I don't know if I'm gonna judge the movie on if it's gonna be bad or if it's gonna be good or stuff like that. But I do hope the movie is good, and the one thing I really hope they do put in the film, if that rumor with Tom Holland supposed to be Spider-Man is true, is that I hope that Spider-Man is in the movie. Is what's the point of a Venom movie without Spider-Man? Because it wouldn't feel like a Spider-Man movie, like what Josh said.
Yeah.
But, I'm just optimistic about it because I do have some concerns for the movie. Because you've seen movies like Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and you've seen how those movies turned out. But I hope, because I'm already kind of getting vibes that Sony is interfering too much like those two movies. And I hope that doesn't happen. But, and if this film is in the MCU and if it sucks, then that's going to be a hard hit for Marvel. And I really hope that doesn't happen if it is in the MCU. Because most of Marvel movies have been good. But if this one is in the MCU and it sucks, then that's going to be bad. But if it is in the MCU, I hope it's good. But that's all I have to say.
Yeah, same here. And that's a really good point that you too about Marvel movies in the MCU kind of mostly being really good movies. Which was funny, though, back in 2014, we had 3 Marvel movies, but the 2 ones from the MCU were Captain America Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. And then also The Amazing Spider-Man 2 from Sony. And that movie didn't do too well financially or critically, sadly. And for Marvel, it's like, yeah, Captain America Winter Soldier was really hyped up because, it's the second Captain America movie and he's in modern times and he gets to team up with Falcon, which is really cool, and also Winter Soldier, which is awesome. But then Guardians of the Galaxy, people are like, oh, who's this? What's this weird team about a talking tree and a raccoon and 2 green people and Chris Pratt? Like, I don't know if I'm interested in seeing this. And then boom, it turns out to be certain people's favorite Marvel movie of all time, which is insane. And a character like Venom, who is a very popular character within the Spider-Man lore, and obviously my favorite Spider-Man villain of all time, and a lot of other favorite Spider-Man villain of all time. And with the popularity that he has and casting someone as popular like Tom Hardy, it's like you have all these great ingredients to make a good film, and then if it sucks, that's going to be really bad. And I really hope that that's not the case. And it's like, because everything that we've, everything that sounds like is happening so far sounds like that it will be at least at the worst, it would be an okay movie. Hopefully, Sony, though, has learned from Spider-Man 3, and I hope a better job. But Vigilante Spider, what do you think about all this?
Well, the Venom movie is going to be my second favorite comedy of this year, straight after X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Oh my God.
See, the thing is, though, I do love what Tom Hardy is doing with this character. I think he's really researched a lot of things, like, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, how Shia LaBeouf was spazzing out all the time. I think Tom Hardy's really crafting the spaz of this film, because it really does show the hardship of Venom and, Eddie just fighting each other. I think it's like we've had Spectacular Spider-Man where it was all emotional and all that, but like screw that noise. We're gonna have spazzing because that's what we need. Yeah. But actually, all being serious though, with Tom Holland, the thing is though, this movie, Sony knows that this movie is not looked up to fans, and also if Sony could just be like, hey, Tom Holland, go to the set and people will start talking about this movie, because then it's like getting word of mouth. Oh my God, Spider-Man's in the movie. They'll sell tickets because Spider-Man. Yeah, no. It doesn't matter because like Tom Holland, when I think he went on the set of The Punisher, or he hangs out with John Berthel a lot, and Spider-Man has not been with The Punisher yet, so it doesn't mean anything. A lot of people like to go on the set anyway. So I see this as a marketing thing from Sony. like saying, "Oh, look, Spider-Man's in here." Like, no. If he is in it, well, then this is going to make things even more complicated because the movie does suck. Well, good job, Marvel. That's your first screw up, thanks to Sony. Or if Tom Holland's in the movie and it's not it, then what is this? Another like a separate universe? What's going on here?
It's just a waste.
Yeah, like this is literally with this movie, I feel bad for the director and Tom Hardy because they're in the worst position because this is Sony being like, we want a Venom movie without Spider-Man. They have no choice. They're screwed either way. So
I think what you said about I'm pretty sure, and Sony are trying to make their own universe with their Spider-Man license that they have, but I think Spider-Man himself, his movies are sort of like the connection between Sony's universe and Marvel's universe.
It's not
Marvel.
To bounce off of what you said, because I saw this in my comic book cast the other day. Apparently, they're starting to cast people for Spider-Man 2, and apparently they're looking for a female lead, supposed to play a femme fatale kind of character that's like Eastern European or something like that. And they're going to start working on the Silver Sable and Black Cat movie soon. And who's Eastern European, who's also a femme fatale kind of character, Silver Sable. You never know, she could be in there, and then they could try to connect, because like what Amy Pascal was saying about the Venom movie, they could take place in the MCU, just be adjuncts so where they don't reference anything in the MCU, but it's in the same world. So they could, have that connective tissue, and they could be trying to do that, trying to cast some of the characters.
Well, for me, is that the only way I can ever see this movie being connected to the MCU in any shape or form is they do it like the Netflix shows where they kind of reference the MCU, but not really. And this movie needs to take place after Infinity War. Because,
definitely.
Because
there's
no way.
That reminds me. Shout out to Venom 2 Million because he brought up this really good point. Because I was watching one of his live streams like a couple months ago, and he was talking about the Venom movie, and he brought up this very good point when I asked him a question, and he thinks it's possible that the Venom movie could take, if it is in the MCU, he thinks it's possible that it could take place in the future of the MCU, kind of like Logan.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. That's like one assumption I have. But even still, that would be weird because you have Tom on set, and if he is actually in the movie, how far ahead in the future is it? No. I'm saying like, let's go with that theory.
But see how already though this already complicates things.
It already makes.
Yeah, so I think it's safe for Sony just to be like, hey, this is like how when you read comic books, right? Peter Parker, he kind of looks the same, but there's a unique difference to him. Yeah. Like maybe one Peter has a scar on his face, or he's acting more serious than classic 616 Peter Parker. So if let's just say if Tom Holland is Peter Parker in this movie, this amazing comedy, I think he could. I think he could play Peter Parker, but not MCU's Peter Parker. So
like,
that makes sense.
Kind of
that
Peter
could be
Parker
a
web designer kind of thing going on.
Yeah, he like literally like this Peter Parker like. He could be a completely different person, and maybe this Peter Parker could also spaz out too. This universe could be the spaz universe. I don't know. This movie is going to be the best comedy of the year.
So basically,
hold on, wait. There was something I wanted to say about the Venom movie, in terms of like what I wanted from it, because I wanted to bring it up, but I forgot to earlier. One thing I really want from this movie, out of anything, because this is the only way how I personally think you could handle a standalone Venom movie, especially if Carnage is meant to be the main villain. Yeah, you could kind of have as a thriller with the whole, the whatever foundation. I never read the Venom comics. The Life Foundation. You could have it be a thriller through that perspective, but more through and through, I kind of would want to be a horror movie because it's about this alien creature taking over this man's body, and because he's taking over his mind and body, he has like these animalistic, insane tendencies to, just go after people and kill them and cause all this destruction. Not to mention, you would have Carnage, who's supposed to be the villain. You would have Carnage come in later, and he's a serial killer. He's already batshit crazy. He's already gone. So you just, build upon that and make it more insane. And you could just go from there and just make it a overall just make it a really insane action horror movie. And have your comedy elements, because of course it has to have comedy elements for some reason.
Well, either way, my final thoughts on the Venom movie is like, from what we've seen, like with him like walking down the set or whatever, is like, I see like they're really trying. Like I do see that like Tom Hardy, he's passionate about it, and I'm sure the directors and the cast and crew and all that. I just don't see this movie ever working. But when I get in that theater and the movie's actually good, and I'm like, good job. It's not terrible.
It didn't suck.
Yes. But that being said, though, Sony have put this amazing group of people making this movie in the worst position possible. Like, I don't know how they're even going to market this movie. Like, what do they do? Like, yes, it'll be a horror movie or something, but like,
yeah, I don't see other marketing.
Like,
what else are you going to do with that?
How do they? Like, what do they do? They've put themselves in a position of, we're having our own universe about Spider-Man, but it will be with Spider-Man, but not really, because we're Sony. We don't know what we're doing. Yeah. Bam, we're
actually, yeah, because like, what would you do actually? Because let's say Spider-Man is in the movie, and let's say Tom Holland was on set for maybe only 2 days and recorded maybe like let's say during that 2 days he actually recorded quite a few scenes, right? Like maybe like 5 to 10 scenes at most, right? You can't market him from just those 5 to 10 scenes. No, you can't.
Are
you
sure about
that?
Are you sure about
this?
It's Sony. Let's be real here.
Well, then again, they kind of did that way with Spider-Man and Civil War. They showed but I mean, you can, but it would just be weird. You're basically showing most of his stuff in the movie. Well, I mean, honestly, what I'd do if he is in the movie, if he recorded a little bit scenes, I would just save, the whole Spider-Man being in the movie thing towards like maybe the last trailer or close, release, and maybe show like a snippet of him being in there and just like, oh shit, he's in here. All right, I'm gonna watch it.
Show it at San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, either way,
yeah, we're probably gonna get a trailer by Comic-Con, I bet.
The one thing we all hope for is that this movie is good. At the end of the day, we don't want a bad movie.
Yeah, man, I hope that Venom looks good too.
Because we're paying $10 for a bloody ticket. So
15 here.
Hey, if the movie does suck and it is a comedy, well, at least I had a good laugh. But yeah, that's
our audio commentary will be wonderful. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, so,
oh my gosh, yes it will.
I think real quick, just to sum it up,
rated R.
All in all, it's gonna be the best rom-com of 2018, hands down.
Ouch.
Oh my god. Stop it. Stop.
At least it'll be better than the Emoji Movie. Then.
It's my favorite Wayne. It's my favorite.
Why did you mention that?
Looking at Dolphin shit would probably be better than the Emoji Movie.
Wait. Is the Venom movie directed by the Wayans brothers? Because it looks the exact same.
What?
The Wayans brothers. The ones that made Scary.
I know who you're talking about, but you need to stop it. I know, you need to stop.
No, I love Zombieland. Alright, I'm done.
Well, guys, that wraps up our thoughts on all 3 topics. Just a little 2 cents back from me, slightly about Venom. I don't know when it came out, but there's this movie called The Witch, and it stars the girl from Split with James McAvoy, and it was the main girl in that movie. In that movie, there's the whole plot is like, okay, there's this family, and then really bad stuff starts happening. And it's been like, witch times and, old colonial times. And spoilers, if you haven't seen the movie, at the end, the girl basically becomes a witch. She like gives in to the witches of this land that's kind of being haunted by them, and they're kind of taking out their family members one by one, which is really messed up. And the girl's dad dies at one point because of a demonic goat from a witch at some point. And then the girl at the end is like, I can't deal with this anymore. You win. And then she ends up becoming a witch herself. And I think if Venom goes that route, if Eddie is dealing with this inner conflict with the symbiote, he's fighting for his life mentally and physically for the control of his own body because the symbiote wants him to be Venom, I think that could be played out in a really cool way in terms of screenwriting and also like visually. Because in terms of like a Spider-Man movie, the only visually really cool thing from the Spider-Man movies has been, of course, the way that Spider-Sense was handled in the first Raimi movie, and also the kind of slow motion first-person sequences from the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and a little bit in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and also in Homecoming, just the really great humor that movie has and just the cool action sequences with Vulture and Spider-Man fighting. But in Venom, I really hope that they can do the same thing. And yeah, what you guys are saying is like, if Tom Holland is in the movie, that'd be cool, but I think it would have made more sense if Andrew Garfield was up against Tom Hardy as Venom. I think that's what they're trying to do, but then of course the whole Sony debacle happened, and now we have Homecoming and we have Spider-Man in the MCU instead of the Amazing Spider-Man 3. So it is a strange situation what all you guys were saying. I totally agree with each and every one of you. But obviously what Vigilante was saying, we just want a good movie. Hopefully this ends up being good. If it's not, that's going to suck a lot. But anyways, guys, that is an end for the very first episode of the Parker Luck Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. It was really fun to do this. This is our very first episode of the Parker Luck Podcast. Please let us know in the comments if you did enjoy us discussing about all these 3 topics. And to recap, it was the really awesome news of the breaking announcement of a leaked Spider-Man PS4 Funko Pop, which we're all very excited about. The second announcement was God of War's release date on April 20th, and we're all very excited about that game. And hopefully that means we get some more Spider-Man PS4 information soon, maybe in the coming weeks or months. We don't know. We just hope it's soon. And, of course, Venom. Some of us are really into it. Obviously, I think it's going to be the best rom-com of the year, like Vigilante and Spider said. But anyways, thank you so much. I was very lucky to be a part of this awesome discussion with Austin the Spidey fan for the win, Spidey Skater Boy, Legit MHX, Spidey Bugle, Spidey Outcast, and Vigilante Spider. And I think you guys know more about this than I do, but we are trying to make this a weekly thing. We're going to try our best to make the Parker Luck Podcast a weekly podcast. So I'll let Josh talk about it because he knows more.
Well, we want this to be every 2 weeks. We haven't decided on the day yet. We're obviously, still discussing this, but by the time it goes up, whatever day you see it up, that's the day each episode will go up. So whatever day that is, every 2 weeks from that point onward. So, yeah.
Just be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the podcast.
Please.
Hit that bell, after you subscribe, because that's what we got to do nowadays.
Wow, that's a really good segue, Josh. I'm proud of you.
But in all seriousness, we do really appreciate you guys watching our videos on the Spidey Squad channel, more stuff, the Parker Luck Podcast, and other stuff on everybody's individual channels as well. Please go subscribe to everyone here. Of course, Austin Spidey fan makes awesome edits. Josh does stuff. Legit MHX. No, Josh does.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
Oh my god.
Videos. Legit Spidey Bugle and Vigilante Spider have all been doing really awesome videos recently on Spider-Man PS4. Please go check them out. They did an individual video recently talking about fall damage on the Spidey Squad YouTube channel, so go check that out. It was a great discussion hearing them talk about it. And Andrew's working on the Spidey Squad series. He's doing a great job on it. But no, in all seriousness, Josh does do really good videos on his channel, and also does a really good job managing the Spidey Squad Discord. So and also Spidey Stretch, who sadly couldn't make it. And also, shout out to the Talented Gamer HD.
Yes.
He sadly had a procedure recently. He made out okay. We all love you, Terry. We hope you're soon. And yeah, guys, any last words to the listeners out there before we end it?
We love you.
I personally want to just give a really thick shout out to the homies Demetrius, Techno, and Sully, because they couldn't be here for this. Also Frank, you're sick, dude.
Frank the Savage.
Don't forget our friend Michael.
Yep.
No, we already got Mike. Well, Evan already.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I just have to say.
Double shout out for Michael.
Yeah, double shout out.
All right. Triple shout out for Michael.
Wow.
I just have to say that this was an honor doing this with you guys, because this is my first appearance on the Spice Squad YouTube channel, and I'm really glad I got to do this awesome pod of crap. I messed up. Oh, I'm going to rephrase that.
It's fine, man. Keep going. It's cool, man.
Yeah, I'm really glad I got to be part of this podcast, because these guys are awesome. So, yeah.
No problem, man.
That's awesome, man. Thank you.
Peace.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And thank you all for watching so much. Definitely expect more in the future for the Spidey Squad channel and all of our channels individually said. And it means a lot to us. And until next time, everybody, stay spectacular, Spidey fans. Peace out.